the class and the group of players that we feel like we have every year in the group. This year I chose this slogan because we have a senior class that was so unbelievably talented. I was very nervous that these guys would let their guard down. I was nervous that these guys would have too easy of a time with most of their competition during the year, and that they would tend to fart around and not work as hard as they should. These guys, in every sense of the word, proved me wrong. They worked hard all year long, extremely hard in practice. They pushed when it was time to push, and we never quit, ever. In our semifinal game this year, at halftime, we were probably in the most disorganized and the biggest disarray I have ever seen this team in the entire 2 years when we came off the field at halftime. We had a good talk at halftime. We got our heads right. We came back, and I saw the team that I've seen for the past few years. These guys put their hearts on the field. Within 2 minutes of being on the field, Bob Frederick forced a goal that was unbelievable, which you guys saw on film a little while ago. And these guys never quit. Their goalkeeper was forced to make fingertip save after fingertip save, and their defense minor deflection after minor deflection, after shot went on that field and went at that team. We never stopped trying to win the game, even when St. Paul's came up 3-1 on us. We kept continuing to pursue that team. I went to the state finals and I watched Jesuit play St. Paul's, and they were nowhere near as tested by Jesuit as they were by us. You guys' spirit and desire was impeccable. You guys will leave a legacy to the younger classmen with what you did and with those true words of suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. We had an incredible season this year, obviously. Our record was 22-4-2. We had probably, and I'll go ahead and I'll step out on a limb and say that we had the most effective and most powerful offensive team that Lafayette High has ever seen. And looking at all the teams that have come through this program, I believe that's saying a lot. We outscored our opponents this year. Oop, I lost my notes. I'll get back to that one. We had 19 different players score this year, which is unbelievable. We talk all the time about team. We talk about how this isn't about an individual. It's about all of us working together and fighting together. And I think no stat on our record shows better that we were a true team than when you look at the number of different players that were involved in the offense of this team, with 19 different players scoring. Tonight's really a special night for me. It's my 13th, end of my 13th year as a head coach in soccer. And I graduated my first freshman class from Lafayette High School. The seniors here were freshmen in my first year here as a head coach. This program has seen many talented players come and go, but our seniors here have been extraordinary. From day one, when these guys came in at freshmen, we knew they were a special class. They dominated every game they played, dominated the JV tournaments they played in, to the point where I was afraid to let them play our own JV team in their first year in the finals of the St. Louis tournament. So we elected to take both trophies home and not embarrass the JV squad. They contributed to the varsity at a very young age. We had 4 or 5 of you guys were on the varsity team as freshmen. As sophomores, some of you guys were starting and mixing in the mix. Over your 4 years here, you've had an incredible record of a 77, 23, and 12. You've been in the semifinals twice, the finals once, every year falling short to the state champion. That's an incredible feat. There's no other public school in the state in all 3 classifications of soccer that competes year in and year out for a state championship, besides you guys here at Lafayette High. It's something to be proud of, boys. Left a lot of memories. Like I said, when you guys were freshmen, you were in the finals of the JV tournament in Barb. Dylan had an incredible volley as a sophomore at St. Thomas. Blythe Frederick had an unbelievable game winner in an extremely emotional game against Captain Street in the semifinals last year. Who will ever forget Pat's head-banging bicycle kick? The tears of pain and the heroic words that we shared in the locker room helped me truly understand what team is all about last year in the state finals. This year you won 2 incredible tournament championships and scored some of the most spectacular goals this program's ever created. But the most memorable thing that you guys have done, and quite possibly the most important thing I've ever seen anybody do in all of my years as a high school coach, was what you guys did in our first playoff game with Pineville. When you guys gave Ross Barron an opportunity to score a once-in-a-lifetime goal, in what we all thought was a very simple gesture and a very simple thing to do, and honestly a no-brainer. And I was glad to see that you guys agreed with us that it was the #1 thing to do. And then to watch you guys on the field, to watch you guys orchestrate it, work hard for it, but not make it too easy, Andrew. To watch you guys on the bench, especially the starters who were on the bench, most of you guys at that time, to watch you guys cheering for the other team. And not in a sarcastic way like we have a tendency to do sometimes, but you guys were fired up. And when Ross scored that goal, I turned around and I looked at the bench, and every single one of you was standing and in the air. And I don't think anybody cheered in the stadium louder than you guys did. I've always told people that the reason I coach is not because I coach to win, because I want to win a state championship. And I want to be a good coach, and I don't measure myself as a good coach based on a record. I've always said the reason I coach is to have the opportunity to share and help teach you guys life lessons through the sport that we all love. I had a coach that did that for me when I was younger, and I appreciated it, and I learned that, and I wanted to share that. That's why I do what I do. But I want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to really understand those words that I've always said. That night at Pineville will stick with me and hopefully stick with you guys for the rest of your lives. That's what this game's really about. Moments like that. So without further ado, let's jump to the awards.